Welcome to the era of high-velocity storytelling in 2026. If you are a creator, an educator, or a digital architect in the United States, you know that the script is no longer just a document. It is the source code of your entire digital presence. In 2026, the bottleneck isn't filming. It's the cognitive labor of transforming a raw idea into a high-retention narrative. We have all spent hours staring at a blinking cursor, trying to find that perfect hook, or struggling to organize complex technical concepts into a 10-minute arc. But with the arrival of ChatGPT Canvas, the writer's block has been officially deleted. Today, we are breaking down the 1,600-word definitive guide on how I write YouTube scripts 3 times faster using the Canvas environment. We will explore the neural hook generation, the structural arc outlining, the human texture rewrite protocol, and the director's bracket for B-roll. By the end of this video, you will move from a struggling writer to a production architect, capable of turning a single spark of inspiration into a multi-platform content engine in a fraction of the time. The battle for the first 3 seconds. Neural hook generation. In 2026, the hook is the most expensive real estate in the attention economy. If you lose the viewer in the first 3 seconds, the rest of your high-production visuals don't matter. The mistake most creators make is writing one hook and hoping it sticks. In the Canvas workspace, we treat hook creation as a psychological stress test. Instead of asking for a good intro, I use Canvas to generate 5 distinct hook archetypes: the provocative question, the negative constraint, the data-driven reveal, the vulnerable admission, and the direct result. Because Canvas allows for side-by-side comparison, I can see which opening creates the strongest incomplete loop in the viewer's mind. I highlight the winning hook and ask the AI to sharpen the contrast, making the stakes higher and the language punchier. In 2026, the best hooks don't just tell you what the video is about, they tell the viewer why their current way of thinking is obsolete. By using Canvas to iterate on these openings, you ensure that your video's entry point is optimized for the brutal 2026 algorithm before you ever hit record. The structural blueprint. High retention. Outlining. Once the hook is locked, most creators dive straight into the script and get lost in the weeds. In 2026, we use Canvas to build a retention gradient outline. This is where we architect the ebb and flow of the information. Using the side panel, I define the core value pillars of the video. Whether I am comparing the latest AI video tools or breaking down a complex coding workflow, the outline must serve as a map that keeps the viewer moving toward a specific destination. The beauty of Canvas here is logical spacing. I ask the AI to check for cognitive overload. If one section of the outline is too dense with technical data, I use the Canvas tools to split it or add a pattern interrupt, a moment of humor, a personal anecdote, or a visual shift. This ensures that the script isn't just a monologue, it's a choreographed experience. By viewing the entire arc of the video in one persistent workspace, I can see where the lull is likely to happen and fix it in the blueprint stage. It turns the script from a flat document into a 3-dimensional strategy for maintaining audience interest over a 10-minute duration. The neural polish. Rewriting for human texture. One of the greatest dangers in 2026 is AI-isms. That sterile, overly perfect tone that signals to a viewer that you didn't put effort into your message. The zero editor system only works if you add human texture back into the AI's raw output. This is where the Canvas rewrite shortcuts become a superpower. I don't just accept the first draft. I highlight sections of text and use the change tone slider to move from informational to conversational or provocative. I look for robotic transitions and replace them with the way I actually speak, using local slang, specific industry jargon, or contrarian opinions that a machine wouldn't naturally suggest. The goal in 2026 is to sound like a trusted peer, not a textbook. I use Canvas to inject vulnerability, asking the AI to find a moment where I can share a specific mistake or a behind-the-scenes struggle. This creates the emotional bridge that keeps an audience loyal to your brand, ensuring that your script feels authentic even if the structure was built by an agent. The visual narrative, integrating B-roll and production notes. A script in 2026 isn't just words, it is a visual directive. The biggest bottleneck in post-production is an editor or yourself trying to figure out what to show on screen while a certain line is being spoken. In the Canvas environment, I use a two-column system or a director's bracket notation to integrate B-roll notes directly into the flow. The value-driven closing, CTA, and retention loops. The end of a YouTube video is where most creators lose their lifetime value, our LTV. They finish the content and then go into a boring like and subscribe routine that everyone skips. In 2026, we use Canvas to architect active closings. This is where we bridge the current video into the next one, creating a retention loop. Instead of a generic call to action, I use Canvas to draft a contextual bridge. If the video was about YouTube scripting, the closing should point the viewer toward a video on AI video editing or channel growth strategy. I highlight the closing and ask the AI to make the CTA feel like a logical next step, not a chore. We focus on the value exchange, telling the viewer why subscribing or clicking the next video will benefit their specific journey. By the time the viewer reaches the end of the script, they shouldn't feel like the show is over. They should feel like they are just getting started on a deeper adventure with your brand. The content multiplier, repurposing into vertical synthesis. The final and most powerful step in the 2026 scripting workflow is the vertical synthesis phase. Once the long-form script is finalized in Canvas, we don't just stop there. We use the high-context memory of the workspace to fragment the script into 10 pieces of short-form content. I ask the AI to identify the 5 most viral moments from the script and draft them into 60-second shorts or reels scripts. We take the technical deep dives and turn them into quick tips for X or threads. This ensures that for every 1 hour spent scripting in Canvas, I am getting a week's worth of multi-platform content. The tone is already established, the research is already done, and the hooks are already optimized. This multiplier effect is the secret to 10 times growth in 2026. You aren't just a YouTuber, you are a multimedia distribution engine. One single session in Canvas produces the entire neural map for your brand's weekly output. Conclusion: the future of the solo media house. The final verdict for 2026 is that speed is the new quality. It is no longer enough to be the best writer, you must be the fastest architect of ideas. The zero editor and zero inbox mentalities must extend to your zero friction scripting process. ChatGPT Canvas is the bridge that allows you to move from a creative hobbyist to a sovereign producer. It removes the mechanical drudgery of writing, the formatting, the basic transitions, the organization, and lets you focus on the visionary leadership that defines a top-tier channel. This is the year you stop being a slave to the blinking cursor and start being the director of your own digital empire. You have the tools, you have the tech stack, and now you have the Canvas protocol. By the time you hit record, you already know the video is going to win because the script was architected for success from the first hook to the final CTA. Thank you for watching this 10-minute deep dive into how I write scripts 3 times faster in 2026. I have put my master YouTube scripting prompt and the director's B-roll bracket guide in the description below, so you can start accelerating your production today. If this video helped you realize that you are just one workspace away from becoming a content factory, please hit the like button and subscribe for more reviews of the systems that are actually moving the needle. We will see you in the next one as we continue to build the future of content together.